Welcome to this week's virtual Drasha. This week we have the incredible privilege to read Parshas Lech Lecha. And Lech Lecha contains what, according to many opinions, is the first test, the first of Avram Avinu's 10 tests. HaKadosh Baruch Hu appears to Avram Avinu when he says, V'yomer Hashem al Avram, Lech Lecha me'artzecha, u'mimoladetcha, u'mibeis avicha, ela aretz asher ar'eka. Leave everything you know. Leave everything you know. Leave your land, your birthplace, the house of your father, and go to an undisclosed land that I will show you. And then the pasuk goes on. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Avram, Ve'escha l'goy gadol, I'll make you into a great nation. Ve'avarechacha, I will bless you. Ve'agad lo shemecha, I'll make your name great. Ve'yeh bracha, and you will be a blessing. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't stop there. He goes on bracha after bracha, beautiful blessing after blessing, explaining to Avram Avinu that if you comply with this test, if you do what I ask you to do, if you venture into the unknown and go to this promised land, I will make your life great. I'll make your future great. And the Sfas Emes, the Ger Rebbe, asks such a profound question. Listen to this wording. Did HaKadosh Baruch Hu need to bribe Avram Avinu to listen to the divine will? What a profound question. See, when you read the Pesukim, it sounds like HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling Avram Avinu, Lech Lecha, I need you to go, venture out, go into the unknown. And by the way, I'm going to make it worth your while. Because I know you're nervous, I know you're scared. See, here's, you're going to be great. And again, you could see all of the beautiful blessings. I'll make you into a great nation. I'll make your name great. You'll be a bracha. All of these things. Whoever blesses you will be blessed. Whoever curses you will be cursed. And all the families of the earth will be blessed through you. So ask the Sfas Emes. Do you have to bribe Avram Avinu? Do you have to sweeten the deal in order for him to comply? This was Avram Avinu. At the end of the day, all that HaKadosh Baruch Hu needed to do was to say, Lech Lecha, go. And Avraham Avinu would have been there. Why the need to throw in all of the blessings? Why the need to sweeten the deal? Why the need, almost it appears like, to entice Avraham Avinu to comply with the divine directive? Avram, says the Sfas Emes, would have done it on his own. And this leads the Sfas Emes to say something absolutely startling. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Avram Avinu, if you make this move, I'm not bribing you, I'm not enticing you, I'm not sweetening the deal. I'm telling you that if you decide to do this, every action has a reaction. Every action has a consequence. Every decision triggers a ripple effect, a cascade effect of multiple other results. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling Avram Avinu something amazing. If you go ahead and you fulfill Lech Lecha me'artzecha mimoladcha mibeis avicha, if you find the courage to leave, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You will become a great nation. Your children will be blessed. Your name will become great, and humanity will benefit from your actions. It wasn't an enticement to Avram. It was telling Avram Avinu the direct effects and impact of his actions. Avram, lest you think that if you decide to do this, the only ramification is for you. Lest you think that if you decide to do this, the only person impacted is you. It's not true. If you take this course of action, this one act, this one Lech Lecha, will have a ripple effect for generations to come. It'll impact your own offspring and progeny, and it will impact humanity. Says the Sfas Emes, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was teaching Avram Avinu this all-important lesson, that what we do matters. What we do matters. And what we do has an impact, not just on ourselves, and not even just on the immediate world around us, but on future generations as well. So says the Sfas Emes, the way they read about the pasuk is, V'yomer Hashem al Avram Lech Lecha. And if you do this, the psukim that follow, psukim Beis and Gimel, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not outlining reward. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not promising Avinu all the wonderful things He's going to give him as door prizes because you decided to enter into the land of Canaan. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying Avinu the result. These are the results of your actions. You choose wisely. You choose to comply. You choose to listen to me and follow me, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Here's going to be the results of your actions, not reward. not reward, results and ramifications. Because what we do matters. What we do has an impact. And this is such an incredibly profound and important yesod. Because so often in life, whether we verbalize it, don't verbalize it, or even consciously aware of it, we sometimes go through life thinking that we don't matter, or that our actions don't matter. And this goes both ways. Sometimes the reason why we allow ourselves to sin and engage in activities that I know are objectively not good. I know it's not good for me. It might be pleasurable, but I know that it's not good for me. So why do I do it? Because deep down there's a piece of me that feels, what is the big deal? What is the big deal? I'll do an Aveira, I'll do Tshuva, Kadosh Baruch Hu is very forgiving. And the truth is the only person I'm impacting is me. And it's not true. When I do something negative, the fallout of that may be immediately upon me. But whatever I do impacts my mishpacha, impacts my family. Whatever I do impacts my children. Whatever I do impacts my humanity. The Gemara says that li'olam yira adam, a person should always view the world as half righteous and half not righteous. And the scales are in perfect balance. And whatever I do tilts the scales one way or the other. What I do matters. So when I commit an Aveira, when I fall prey to my passions, to my wants, to my lusts, and I transgress, I'm not just impacting me. I'm not just hurting me. Maybe I'm the one who feels the direct result, the spiritual pain, the existential pain immediately in the aftermath of sin. But that event, that act, that Aveira, has a ripple effect sometimes in ways that I will never even know. But the positive is true as well. There's a concept of mitzvah habali yadecha al tachnitzena. When an opportunity for a mitzvah arises, run after it. Don't let it go. Don't let it go. And every day we're faced with opportunities. We have unprecedented opportunities to learn, unprecedented opportunities for chesed. Whether it's chesed we do with our money, or chesed we do with our time, or chesed we do with our strengths. Every day there are opportunities. But if you're like me, I often don't grab them. I don't grab them. Even though they come to my hand, they show up at my doorstep, I don't always go ahead and grab them. Why not? Because I think deep down we think to ourselves, what's the big deal? All right, so I missed the mitzvah. Great. First of all, plenty where those came from. All right, I'll get another mitzvah. And so I missed this one, I'll get the next one. What's the big deal? But if we only realized that every single time we do a mitzvah, it's not just you hitting a divine brownie point, right? Not just you putting another brick on the base of Mikdash like we learn as children, creating a good malach. You're changing yourself and you're changing the world. You're impacting your children. You're impacting your family. You're impacting your community. You're impacting those same scales that were in equilibrium. You've just tilted them in one way. Because what we do matters. And if we lived in a way which really reflected this awareness that what I do, how I conduct myself, how I live, the actions I take, the words I use, the activities I engage in, it matters. It really does matter. It matters for me, it matters for those I love, and it matters for the world. It matters for the present, and it matters for the future. And says the Sfas Emes, this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu was teaching Avram Avinu. This was not bribery. This was not, come on Avram, do what I'm asking of you and I'm going to give you everything you could ever imagine. First of all, Avram never asked for these things. Avram never asked for fame. Avram never asked to be the father of a multitude of nations. Never asked for these things. Probably Avram would have liked to have been just left alone. Probably learn a little bit to do whatever he wanted to do. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I just want to tell you, if you do this, your action of Lech Lecha will have such a dramatic impact. Immeasurable impact in so many different directions. And so the psukim are not filled with reward. They're filled with a description of the dynamic impact that Avram Avinu will have if he chooses this course of action. But I would add one thing to this Sfas Emes. Because if you notice, by the way, when do the ramifications and repercussions come about? All that's happening in this series of psukim is Vayomer Shemal Avram Lech Lecha. Lech Lecha. Avram, all I'm asking for you to do is to begin the journey. To begin the journey towards the land that I will show you. You see, if you notice, the ramifications, the beautiful, blessing-filled ramifications that Kadosh Baruch Hu describes, are not contingent on reaching the land, but rather, again, they're contingent on beginning the journey, on Lech Lecha. As soon as you begin the journey, as soon as you make a conscious decision to begin the journey, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, look at all the beautiful, positive, spiritual byproducts that you are going to create as a result of that decision. Because you see, in life, it's not about accomplishing the goal, and it's not about crossing the finish line. Because many times in life, we don't control whether or not we get across the finish line. The only thing I control is Lech Lecha, is to move myself. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Avram Avinu, if you're willing to engage in Lech Lecha, if you're willing to summon up the personalistic courage and begin the journey, that by itself generates the positivity. That by itself leaves an incredible mark upon yourself and your present generation, and that by itself sets the stage for success for future generations. Just the Lech Lecha. It's not the arrival in Canaan that triggers all of these incredible positive byproducts. It's the Lech Lecha. And so HaKadosh Baruch Hu is teaching Avram Avinu this all-important twofold lesson. Lesson number one is what we do matters. What we do in the negative sense, unfortunately, matters. And what we do in the positive sense, Baruch Hashem, matters so much. For ourselves, for our loved ones, for those who are close to us, and for future generations as well. But lest you think it's only accomplishment that matters, Lech Lecha reminds us that it's the effort which creates the positive byproducts in life. Crossing that finish line is often something you and I cannot control. But deciding to embark upon the journey, deciding to go ahead and embark upon the Lech Lecha, finding the courage to leave what is, and to go ahead and venture forth into the great unknown in search of greatness, Lech Lecha, that I control, that you control, that we all have the ability to do. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, as long as we are ready and willing to embark upon the journey, that willingness to begin the journey opens the door for so many incredible, beautiful, positive, and holy results. May we be Zochem Yirtzeh Hashem to find the courage of our father, to find the courage of our patriarch of Avram Avinu, find the courage to engage in our own personal Lech Lecha, begin the journey towards the things we want to really accomplish, want to do. Recognize that what we do is truly meaningful and impactful. And may we be Zochem Yirtzeh Hashem to open the door for positivity in the present and a Yirtzeh Hashem in the future as well. Wishing everyone a good Erev Shabbos and a beautiful Shabbos Kodesh.